Hello, this is Harry Reasoner. And first off, I'd like to say thank you for all your replies and suggestions and recommendations regarding my last video. Uh, Suggestions of what I could read. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this. It's sort of an experiment. Thank you for indulging me. And I really appreciate all the replies. Now, the one funny thing about it is that, and it only occurred to me afterwards, was that this was a good way for me to get a good reading list for the upcoming summer. uh, there are a few items on that list that I have read, um, but a number of things that I haven't. And thank you. That wasn't my intention. Sort of just a nice little bonus for me. Anyway, I have thought about it, and a few of you suggested that I could read some Hemingway. And Hemingway has long been my favorite author, and so I thought I'd give that a shot. And like I say, I don't know how it's going to go or what my goal is. It's just something for me to try. Please let me know if you think it's worthwhile or not. And anyway, I decided to we'll do that, The Old Man and the Sea. There are a few reasons for that. One is that it's just simply a great story. It was published in 1952. It earned Hemingway the Pulitzer in 1953, and the success of it contributed greatly to him receiving actually the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1954. It was the last major thing that he published, or that was published from his writing during his lifetime. There were some things that were later published after his death. Anyway, it's a great story. Now, one of the interesting things about it is that there's a lot of Christian symbology in it, actually. And Hemingway had converted to Catholicism in the wake of, I think it was his third marriage. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's the one it was, which is sort of funny, really, when you think about it. But I think he was a little wishy-washy about it. He went back and forth. And of course, the manner of his death was not particularly Catholic. Anyway, it's a great story. Now, one other quick word about it. That is that it's called a novella. And that's another reason why I chose it, because it's not too long. It will have to span a few videos, of course, but it's not too long. But another thing about it is that it's not divided into parts or chapters, and as a result of that, some of the breaks where I stop and start a video or videos, sorry, will be determined somewhat arbitrarily by timing. Anyway, I appreciate your input and any feedback, of course. I just want to give it a try. And let me know what you honestly think. I'd appreciate that. I first read The Old Man and the Sea when I was quite young. I don't remember just how young. And I take it out and I read it probably about once every year and a half kind of thing. It's a wonderful way to spend an afternoon sometimes. I did read somewhere that the story is not based on a true story, but it was inspired by an experience of Hemingway. He was out fishing far from land and came across an old man and a boy in a small skiff, much further out than really was wise of them. Anyway, thanks. Give me your feedback. This is The Old Man and the Sea. Oh, one other thing. Rather than you look at my mug while I read, I'll just throw some video, this time around anyway, from a hike that Dave and I did a couple of days ago. Okay, thanks. We'll see you. This is Harry Reasoner. He was an old man who fished alone in a skiff in the Gulf Stream, and he had gone 84 days now without taking a fish. In the first 40 days a boy had been with him, but after 40 days without a fish, the boy's parents had told him that the old man was now definitely and finally sallow, which is the worst form of unlucky, and the boy had gone at their orders in another boat which caught 3 good fish the first week. It made the boy sad to see the old man come in each day with his skiff empty, and he always went down to help him carry either the coiled lines or the gaff and harpoon and the sail that was furled around the mast. The sail was patched with flour sacks and furled. It looked like the flag of permanent defeat. The old man was thin and gaunt, with deep wrinkles in the back of his neck. The brown blotches of the benevolent skin cancer the sun brings from its reflection on the tropic sea were on his cheeks. The blotches ran well down the sides of his face, and his hands had the deep creased scars from handling heavy fish on the cords. But none of these scars were fresh. They were as old as erosions in a fishless desert. Everything about him was old except his eyes, and they were the same color as the sea, and were cheerful and undefeated. "Santiago," the boy said to him as they climbed the bank from where the skiff was hauled up, "I could go with you again. We've made some money." The old man had taught the boy to fish, and the boy loved him. "No," the old man said, "you're with a lucky boat. Stay with them. But remember how you went 87 days without fish, and then we caught big ones every day for 3 weeks." "I remember," the old man said. "I know you did not leave me because you doubted." "It was Papa made me leave. I am a boy, and I must obey him." "I know," the old man said. "It is quite normal." "He hasn't much faith." "No," the old man said, "but we have, haven't we?" "Yes," the boy said. "Can I offer you a beer on the terrace, and then we'll take the stuff home?" "Why not?" the old man said, "between fishermen." They sat on the terrace, and many of the fishermen made fun of the old man, and he was not angry. Others of the older fishermen looked at him and were sad. But they did not show it, and they spoke politely about the current and the depths they had drifted their lines at, and the steady good weather, and of what they had seen. The successful fishermen of that day were already in, and had butchered their marlin out, and carried them laid full length across 2 planks, with 2 men staggering at the end of each plank, to the fish house, where they waited for the ice truck to carry them to the market in Havana. Those who had caught sharks had taken them to the shark factory on the other side of the cove, where they were hoisted on a block and tackle, their livers removed, their fins cut off, and their hides skinned out, and their flesh cut into strips for salting. When the wind was in the east, a smell came across the harbor from the shark factory. But today there was only the faint edge of the odor, because the wind had backed into the north and then dropped off, and it was pleasant and sunny on the terrace. "Santiago," the boy said. "Yes," the old man said. He was holding his glass and thinking of many years ago. "Can I go out to get sardines for you for tomorrow?" "No, go and play baseball. I can still row, and Rogelio will throw the net." "I would like to go. If I cannot fish with you, I would like to serve in some way." "You bought me a beer," the old man said. "You are already a man."